Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I didn't want too much of nothing, child. I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about a few people before we get into um, the mess. I did want to correct myself. I know some of you don't watch. Um, well, I don't know if you watch it or not, but I just started reviewing the show. I wasn't going to review it at first, but because it kind of started off slow to me, I was like, girl. But once I got to like episode 3, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. It's called Heart and Hustle Houston. It comes on TV. And then plus I was like, girl, let me just try to review a show. I have reviewed a show out of Houston before. It was called it was called Married to Medicine. I don't know if y'all know this, but Married to Medicine had a Married to Medicine Houston some years ago. But of course it didn't last. But anyways, so Labrina, she's on Heart. Wait, what is it called? Heart and Hustle, Houston. I don't know if I like that name though. Anyways, I said in the review, and I'm going to say this again in the new review. Um, but I said in the review that her mother kicked her out because she was pregnant, and that wasn't the correct information. Labrina had already had her baby. Labrina was 19 when she had a baby. Well, I don't know if she was anyway, she was 19 and her son was 10 months old when her mother kicked her out. I said that her mother kicked her out because she was pregnant. I mean, because she got pregnant. But I don't think that was necessarily the truth. I don't know why the mother kicked her out. I remember the mother saying that um, you didn't want to follow the rules. Um, something along the lines of, when you think you're grown. I think that's what she said. But it wasn't necessarily because Labrina got pregnant, because the baby was already here. I would want to know the reason why Labrina got kicked out. With that being said, I still think it's trifling. I don't care what nobody says. I do think it's trifling. And I know it's probably easier for me to say it because I don't have kids and I've never been in that position, and more than likely I never will. Um, when your child gets pregnant and then they have a baby, especially if they're a teenager. She was in the latter years of teenagehood or whatever, but being a teenager. But I just think it's trifling that you kick your child out for whatever reason, knowing that she has a 10-month-old baby. Like, I would need to know. I would need to know, like, what was the reason why you really kicked your daughter out of the house at 19 years old with a 10-month-old baby, knowing that she didn't have any of the tools that she needed in order to really be okay. Now, Labrina is okay at this very moment. She's married. It appears as though she lives a nice lifestyle, businesses, nice home. A lot of acres on acres on acres, horses, cows, and all types of stuff at the farm. Um, so Labrina's doing okay now, but I would want to know the reason why. I mean, girl, it's none of our business, but it is our business, being that they're on reality TV. You know what I'm trying to say? And they already put it out there, so y'all might as well just put it all out there. Why did Labrina get kicked out of the house at 19? Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it will make sense once the mom says, excuse me, what the reason was. But I just don't. I just don't. I just don't know how much I agree with, like, kicking your teenage child out with a newborn baby. Like I was saying in my review, the closest I'll probably ever to have to, I mean, the closer I'll probably get to having kids is probably my nieces. And if, God forbid, oh girl, they get pregnant at 18, 19, and their parents kick them out, I'm not gonna have my nieces out here struggling, so they ain't gonna have no choice but to come over here. I mean, girl, I'm gonna have a choice, but it ain't no choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I'm not about to have my nieces out in the streets struggling just to try to teach them a lesson. Or again, even if something happened after they had the baby and their parents kicked them out because whatever was going on, I'm not gonna have my nieces out here at no 19 years old with no 10-month-old baby girl trying to figure it out on her own. Now, I'm going to be pissed off because you didn't have a baby at 19, but I'm going to be crying and rocking a baby to sleep while you probably taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to have my out here trying to teach them a lesson. And I think another thing too, excuse me, is her parents are, no shade, her parents are that group of people who believe that when you turn 18 anyways, you need to be out the house already. Girl, at 17, your stuff need to be packed. That's what I was getting from the mama and the daddy. Like, basically, when you turn 18, you grown, so get up out of here. You know what I really do believe? And I was going to save this, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now since we're talking about it. The mama was married to Labrina's stepfather. And the mother said that she was always welcome to come back home. And Labrina said, well, girl, you didn't want to be there either. So it's like it right now they're not putting it all out there. They're still leaving, it's still some holes in the story, right? So maybe Labrina was going through with something, not Labrina. Maybe the mother, Labrina's mother was going through something with the stepdaddy, and the stress got a hold to Labrina's mother. And then whatever Labrina was doing after she had the baby, she was acting out, cutting up. And then Labrina mama probably said, girl, I'm already stressed out because of this nigga. You're not going to stress me out either. Get your ass about this house. It's still trifling, though. Because when you think about it, if that was the case, I don't know what the case was. If that was the case, you still kind of put your daughter out over a man. Ugh. But like I was saying, girl, I need to know what the Labrina's daddy, because we're not just gonna give it all to Labrina's mama, because Labrina's daddy was at the table before they started really going into the conversation, and he got up and left. I'm like, what the fuck he getting up and leaving for? And see and that's a part of the problem too, because it's not fair that all of it is put onto Labrina's mother. Because even though Labrina's mother did kick her out for whatever reason, girl, when she kicked her out, girl, your door should have been swinging open, and Labrina and that baby should have been walking through your door, sir. With you and your step your with your not husband, his wife, because he's married, he's still married. So I want to know, why didn't the daddy let her come stay with him? But the daddy also has a mindset too, from what I can see. When you turn 18, your ass get up and go. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to come back and talk about that and correct myself again. I'm gonna repeat this again in the review, but it was on my mind. And I don't like to I don't, sometimes, we make mistakes, right? And I don't like when I say stuff that's incorrect in my reviews. Like, I feel like I need to hurry up and try to correct it, because I know some people don't watch the show and they're just going off of what the YouTubers say. Um, so I was like, I gotta hurry up and correct this, because somebody brought it to my attention in the comments. And that's another thing, girl. Y'all gotta read y'all comments, not y'all. Girl, let me stop telling y'all what to do, girl. I read my comments. I can't talk about. I don't know what nobody else do. Somebody brought it to my attention in the comments, and I was like, oh yeah, that is true. Um, that she didn't get kicked out because she was pregnant. The baby was already here. She did something, and that was the cause of her being put out the house. But we don't know what that something was. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Not for lazy moms. You know, I call her Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Layla Shields Ali. Okay? So everybody knows, in my favorite voice, that Monique Samuels is coming back to the Real Housewives of Potomac, as a friend of the show this season, season 10. um, you know, me personally, I always thought that Monique had all the ingredients to be a top tier housewife. I really did. She had the money. the husband, the kids, right? She actually lived in Potomac. She had not one, not two, not three. I have 4 homes, right? She had the mom. She had the ignorant ass mother-in-law. I got that help. What she said, I told that heifer, didn't I? What she said? What she said when she was walking out the restaurant? I can't remember.
Didn't I get that heifer straight?
But she had the mother-in-law. Like she had the ingredients to be, to me, a great housewife. Monique just was not a great housewife to me. I think Monique would probably be a better fit as a friend. Even though I know this is just my opinion, even though some people still consider the the 5-star binder iconic, I don't think it was iconic. I just didn't. I think that the iconic thing would have been for her to gather all the girls and boys at the reunion and flip that binder page by page, and then walk out with her husband and say, "Deuces, I quit." That would have been iconic. It wasn't iconic that she just kind of sat there and basically told us Jamal ain't shit, like we already know Jamal ain't shit. I mean, girl, the babies he had on Giselle made us realize the nigga wasn't shit. Hello. Is Jamal coming? Right. Girl, no, Karen, are you coming? No, because you're in jail. So I said all that to say, I feel like Monique does think, and this is y'all fault. I do feel like Monique thinks that she's probably bigger than the program. And I don't know why she still thinks that, because, girl, her time on Love and Marriage DC should have knocked her down a couple of pegs. I reviewed Love and Marriage DC the first season, and I think the second season. I think. How many seasons has it been? Because Carlos, he breaks shit up over there. Because probably only been one. I think it's been 2. But I think like the second season, I think he broke it up. And then when they came back, I don't think I reviewed the second half. Is that what? I can't remember, girl. But I know I reviewed the first season. And I felt like I was more Team Monique. And not necessarily Team Monique, but I felt like people were not trying to see it through Monique's eyes as it pertained to her relationship, her marriage. I think that when Monique got on Love and Marriage DC, they tried to make Carlos made Monique the face of the show. And then Monique fell flat on her face because nobody liked Monique. But I have this thing where the girls who are usually kind of gassed up, it's only usually because the person who they're in conflict with the most is that they just don't like that person, and they like the person who is going against that person. Like, for example, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Drew. Y'all ain't never seen it for Drew. But now all of a sudden, Shamia, who people don't like, is now kind of going up against Drew, and now people love Drew. But y'all ain't seen it for Drew seasons, girl, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now all of a sudden, Drew is like the fan favorite. But I think it's more so because people don't like Shamia, and Shamia is kind of going up against Drew. And then, Kenya, Portia. People hated Kenya. But then when Portia got her own spinoff show, they finally realized, oh, Portia is the problem. This season, Kenya's not in the picture, right? She got fired because she showed that girl sucking dick. She saw somebody sucking dick. Now, people hated Portia because now you can't blame it on Kenya. Monique and Candace. People hated Candace. But then when Monique gets her own spinoff show, people hate Monique. It's really because you just didn't like Candace. It wasn't that you really just went up for Monique. It's just that you didn't like Candace. And when she got into it with Monique, and because Monique, girl, knocked Candace upside the head, that made you fall in love with Monique, because really and truly you just don't like Candace. Because then when you had the chance to really focus on Monique, when she had her own show, right? And when she used to always say, girl, that show over there, Girl, y'all found out y'all didn't like Monique. It's something that I've noticed that happens with the people who are propped up. And then I look at the people who they're against, and it's like, oh, that's why they don't like this person. And then you find out I really don't like her either. Right. So Monique, I know I'm just, girl, we're just talking. So Monique, I thought that Monique, I was like, they did the cast photos, right? Most of the cast photos, they just gave a new pose. They used the same photos from last year, the green dress. And then they added the new girls. Monique, they used Monique's dress, her photo from season 5. The purple dress and the updo. And they just changed the color from purple to green. And then they removed her wedding ring. And when I saw it, I was like, girl, that's the same picture from season 5. They just changed the dress color. Because Monique, I don't know if some of you know now, but Monique has locks now. She still looks the same. Ain't nothing about Monique changed except her hairstyle. But I was like, girl, this is so I'm over here, girl, dragging production again, because the production gonna get it all the time. I'm over here dragging production like, y'all are so trifling and lazy, girl. Why did y'all not let that girl go take another picture? Like, this is just trifling to me, girl. You're lazy, you're sorry, you're tired, you're through, you're musty, and you're dusty, right? Just to come find out, girl, that's what I'm over here thinking. Just to come find out that Monique said that she didn't have time. Monique said, someone put, oh my God, Monique is back. They could have at least given her a new picture. It's been 5 years. And then she said, they asked and I declined. I didn't have time for all that. And it just got me to thinking, girl, we just talking today. Girl, it's raining outside, girl. I was going to try to go to Dallas, but then, girl, I looked up and, girl, it was pouring. I said, girl, suitcase right here packed. Girl, well, I was packing it. I was just going to go for a couple of days. But that rain started, baby. I was like, what is that noise? Girl, I looked outside, baby, it was rain. And I said, oh, girl. I said, it's meant for me not to go nowhere. So I'm just going to go to the mall and return this suit I bought and get my goddamn money back. Anyways, so it just got me to thinking about Monique. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like Monique still thinks she's bigger than the program in a way. And I think Monique still thinks that she's more important on this show than what she really is. Monique needs to remember, girl, when you went to Love and Marriage DC, the fans turned on her fans. And you know what I think? You know what I think the fucked up thing about the situation was? That they really turned on Monique due to a nigga. That's the real gag. They didn't like the way that Monique was treating Chris. Even though to me, I felt like Monique just wanted some growth from her husband. Her husband who he was, though. And I think because Monique always came across on Love and Marriage DC as like the nagging bitch, and Chris never really gave a lot, it just looked as though Monique was just like a bitch. Even though I caught onto Chris's game real early, he's just not going to say nothing. So when the cameras come around, I'm just going to sit there and get quiet. And so if she keep doing it, then people gonna think that she just nagging all the time because I ain't really said nothing. That was Chris's MO. And I didn't think that the stuff she was saying was just so like, you know. Anyways, but I was just like, oh, Monique really thinks that she is bigger than what she is. Girl, Monique, what the fuck you got going on to the point where you can't go take a picture, girl? Like I put on Twitter, Candy Burris, girl, the busiest bitch out of everybody on the Housewives, girl. I always found the time to take a picture. And Candy got 50-11 jobs. Now I know Candy is a cast member, but what I'm saying is at the end of the day, girl, they all gotta make time to take a picture. Girl, why can't you just take the picture? I don't know why. It's like it's kind of like it's like when she left, right? Season 5, and she was like, oh, this little check, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was basically saying like that little check that they make ain't nothing compared to like basically Chris's money. And the only thing I could think about was, girl, if your check was, if you had that little check during season 5, and that was when you left, then girl, how much you making now? Because 1, you're not a housewife. 2, you're a friend. 3, I refuse to believe that they just gave you, girl, more than probably what you were making as a housewife. I would need to know. I mean, it's not my business. And I was like, oh, girl, she probably still ain't changed. You know what I really want to see? And I know I'm getting ahead of myself because season 10 has not come. I really want to see a sit down between Candace and Monique. I do. Girl. That would be reality TV gold. Season 11, they need to make that happen. They really should. Season 11, they really need to start they really need to produce the show. They really need to have a sit down with Candace and Monique. That would, I think the girls will be glued in. But Monique is not gonna accept accountability because no matter what people say, I don't go fuck with nobody. Say I'm not changing my mind. Y'all better go back and watch season 5. Monique was fucking with Candace. Girl. The girls just didn't want to see it because they don't like Candace. And really and truly, and I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on because I'm sure this is gonna come up again when the season starts. Girl, Monique really had smoke for that smoke. That ass whooping was really for Giselle. She just couldn't touch Jizzy. Everybody knows in my favorite voice that Giselle is off limits. She's protected by Andy and the producers. That's exactly why last year at the reunion, was that last year? Oh no, the year before last, before Candace quit, they told Candace she had to take it easy. And that's why Candace just kind of sat there and cried because I really can't wring this bitch neck like I want to. And then it looked like Giselle was getting Candace together, but really and truly, girl, they made Candace be quiet. It's shit like that, right? It's shit like that. Even when Mia kind of like hopped up and got in Giselle's face, you see she set her ass back down. So Giselle is definitely protected. Um, and that ass whooping that Monique had for Candace really was for Giselle. That's why when Monique got to the reunion, the only person who she really went after was Giselle, even though she said she had a tab on everybody. That right there should have shown people, oh, girl, the smoke has always been for Giselle. It's just that she took it out on Candace. And instead of Monique just saying, girl, I really shouldn't have put my hands on you because that's the bitch who I really wanted to pop. Girl. Because she was the one, quiet as is kept, who really wanted to bring on the storyline about the paternity of my baby, even though the girls and boys swear up and down kids are off limits. Anyways, child. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, y'all, let's go ahead on it. Just go ahead and move on. Baby, listen to this. Karrueche Tran hints at dating someone special amid romance rumors with Deion Sanders. I wouldn't even waste my time if the love wasn't good. Girl, please. I wish the fuck I would. Karrueche Tran is opening up about a new romance with someone who many believe to be NFL legend and the University of Colorado coach Deion Sanders. During an appearance on the What's Next with Jay Ryan podcast on the Dope Network, the Claws actress confirmed she's having tons of fun in the dating world after Jay Ryan noted her recent interest in football. Christina Milian, who also appeared on the podcast, jokingly said, touchdown. While she didn't say Deion's name, Tran didn't hesitate to express how serious the mystery connection is. I wouldn't even waste my time if the love wasn't good, she said. At this point in my life, I know what I know and like. The romance speculation gained steam in July. Oh, excuse me. When Karrueche was spotted supporting Sanders at the hospital following his bladder removal surgery. Sanders has yet to publicly comment. Do you believe they're a real couple? I believe that Karrueche is a motherfucking fool if they are. Girl, that nigga, how old is, I think Deion is damn near 60. Or I think he is 60. Hold up, let me see how old this nigga is. Hold up. And no, I'm not being an ageist. Hold up. Let me see. 58. Girl, like I said earlier, girl, you over there with a nigga who pushing 60. Girl, I ain't got a full set of toes. Girl, fucked around, ain't got no bladder. Oh, what had bladder cancer? Girl, you was over there, girl. Let's just call a thing a girl. You was a caretaker. The nigga was over there pissy. Girl, it's Sunday fun day, Saturday night, and you over there cleaning up piss and changing sheets. Mm-mm. Girl, girl, like Deion Sanders' body has damn near all the way shut down. Karrueche is still in her 30s, and girl, you're over there being a caretaker to a nigga in his 60s who ain't even got a full set of toes. Wiping up piss. Just pissy. You're pissy and you ain't got all your feet. I mean, you ain't all your toes. But you got your feet, but bitch, you ain't got all your toes. I'm sorry. That is nothing. That is. Girl, can you imagine if the roles were reversed and it was a 30-something-year-old man and the woman was 60 and her body was breaking down like Deion's? Do you really think people will be gassing that relationship up? No, they would not. They will be telling that young man, that young black king, he's wasting his time. Go get you a good woman. You over there taking care of that lady. She ain't even got no fucking toes. Girl, piss everywhere. But if she like it, I love it, honey. I'm not cleaning nobody's piss. Okay? Nobody's. At all. Mm-mm. Let me see what else is going on. Let's look at the blogs. What the diva say? Shout out to Erica De Niro TV. Oh, this is a cute hat. Now I sponsor the blogs. Hold up. Oh, this is a cute hat. Girl, I bought these two hats. They are so cute. Girl, I cannot wait to wear them. They are so. When I say they are so fly. Oh, girl, I cannot wait to wear them. One of them I can wear right now, but the other one is more of a fall winter hat. So I'm gonna wait till September the 22nd. Is that when fall starts? Oh, well, not necessarily to the 22nd because I might be going to New York in September before the 22nd. But it's so cute. I might show y'all one day. It is so cute. It is so cute. Anyways, let me see what's going on the blog. Now I sponsor the blogs right along with Erica De Niro TV. Hold up, y'all. You know what's so crazy? Um, this weekend is Atlanta Pride. Girl, you know they have a Pride girl every weekend in Atlanta. Anyways, it's Atlanta Pride Labor Day weekend, and it crossed my mind to go, and then I changed. I was like, girl, I don't want to go to no Pride, girl. But it crossed my mind to go though. I saw a conversation happening on Twitter, basically talking about the age of people going to Pride. Like, basically, how can you be 40 plus still going to Pride? Now, you know, I am part of the 40 plus crowd, and I haven't been to, who is this texting me? I haven't been to Atlanta Pride. I think, oh, I can't remember, girl. It's been some years since I went to Atlanta Pride. I just want to say this, and it's so crazy because I did go to DC Pride, the year before last. But I will. And this is no shade. I feel like the DC crowd when it comes to Pride, believe it or not, it's sometimes I feel like it's more of a mixture. You don't feel too much out of place, if that makes sense. So if you are a man of a particular age or a person of a particular age, you might not necessarily feel out of place because you'll see other 30, 35, 40, maybe even 50 years old, 50-year-olds at Pride. Um, I personally, even though it's something that I don't necessarily need to partake in anymore, if I feel the need to go or if I want to go, then I'll go. But like I felt like I wanted to go this year to Atlanta Pride this weekend, and I was like, I don't feel like going. I don't feel like dealing with. I don't feel like going. Now probably 10 years ago, girl, baby, she would have been girl first plane smoking. Okay. Atlanta was actually the first pride I ever went to outside of a Houston pride. One, I don't think there should be a limitation to the age of the people who decide to go to pride. I don't think that all of a sudden, because you hit 40 or 50, that means that, oh girl, your pride days are over. No. Now, I will say this much: if you're in your 40s or 50 and you're going to prides, and girl, you're trying to and you're trying to get a hold to the 18 and 19-year-olds, then sir, we have a problem. You nasty bastard, right? But if you're 40 and 50 and you're still going to pride to have a good time with your friends, whether it be by yourself, then I don't see an issue with that. I don't think that just because you turn a certain age, all of a sudden that means that, girl. People have this thing where when you hit a certain age, that your life is supposed to move this way. You're 40, so why are you still going to the club? You're 40 now, mind you. I don't even go to the club, but you're 40. Why are you still going to Pride, girl? Because they want to. I would never look at someone who's 40 or 50 still in the club like, "Ooh, girl, why are you still in the club?" Now, I don't necessarily go to the club, but I'm not going to turn my nose up at you. And this is the real gag for all the people. And this is just this is just my opinion. This is the real gag, especially for the younger people who feel as though the 40 and 50s and 60s and whatever shouldn't go to Pride. Bitch, how do you think the Pride is even happening? The Pride ain't happening because the 18 and 19 and the 20 and the 25-year-olds are throwing the events. Be very clear. Bitch, it's the 40 and the 50 and the 60-year-olds that's throwing the events. So y'all want the old punks and the old, lesbians and the old butch queens to throw the events, but you feel like they shouldn't partake in the festivities. How does that work? Because again, the 18 and the 19-year-olds are not throwing the events. Now they're coming to the events, but they're not throwing these pride events. They're not putting these pride events together. Be very clear. But yeah, I just want to tap on that. Girl, if you want to go to Pride, go to Pride. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to the club, go to the club. But if you especially want to go to Pride, I do feel like it's a difference between people wanting to partake and just feel free. Because believe it or not, even though a lot of partying, sex, drugs happen during Pride events, there are also educational things that happen, workshops that happen. And I also, again, don't feel like because you're 40, Pride is a place. This is just for me. Pride is a place where people can hang around other people without what it's supposed to be. That's a lie. Without necessarily the fear of judgment due to their sexuality or gender identity, right? So if somebody is 45 and they want to just go out and party, right, with the other boys and girls and don't have to worry about, they can throw their ass in a circle or if they want to catch ass or whatever you do at the club, right? Then I feel like they should be able to go and just have a good time and be free for those 2 or 3 days. Because, girl, we can't go to the straight spot and throw our ass in a circle or catch a nigga ass. Right? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, let the girls and boys just party and have a good time. And bitch, I might be in Pride. Girl, I might be in DC Pride. Girl, like I said, DC Pride to me, I will say this much. There are some places I would not want to go due to my age because I do feel like, girl, I am 40. Like, I'm not going to a spot where I know it's just going to be young queens there. No, I'm not. Not me. Now, if it was a spot where I know that 50% of the men were going to be 35, 40, 30, 35, 40, then we can do that. Even though I know it's still going to be some of them, the young girls, the 18, 19, 20, 25-year-olds there too. That's fine. But as long as I know that there is still a good group of people out there, like I don't want to be the old punk in the club with the young punks. Looking like I'm there to try to because it look crazy. Now that does look crazy to me, girl. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, sister. That does look crazy when you like when it's just like a couple of y'all old punks partying with the young punks. It's kind of like, oh, sister, I don't know, sister. Girl, they say, oh, no. Yeah. But see, I don't like young, I like my men seasoned. I need you to be my age or higher, okay? Or a little bit younger, but girl, we can't go down to those 19 and 20, okay? That's a little too young for me. So I get it. I feel like DC prides always kind of give like a balance. Like you gonna see the uncles. You gonna see the uncles and the aunties at the DC prides. You gonna see the nigga with a little gray in their beards at the DC prides, right? I do feel like Atlanta prides do give a little bit more young-ish vibe, right? I feel like DC prides give a little bit more mature. And that's probably why I don't have a problem going. I would rather go to a DC. I would rather go to a DC Pride over an Atlanta Pride because I do feel like the DC Pride should give a little bit more mature, right? A little gray. You know what I'm saying? But again, I don't think that people should be. I don't think it should be frowned upon because people still partake in Pride events at a certain age. I just don't. Like, I don't even think it should be frowned upon that people go to the club. Like, if people want to go to a club, that's what people want to do. I don't like to go to the club. Okay? I'll go to a bar. We can go to. I feel like it's a difference between a bar and a club. If I go to a club, it's more than likely because I went out of town. Let me correct that. If I go out of town, I don't mind. Like, okay, let me just go to the club and see what's going on, right? But for the most part, if I walked into a club and it gave very, very young, girl, I would literally walk right back out. Yes. If I feel like I'm the old man in the club, I'm gone. Now, if I walk in and I see, oh, okay, there goes somebody who like they my age, oh, they young. Oh, they my age, oh, they young. Oh, they my age. If it's like a balance, then I'm okay. But yeah, I guess what it is too, because like I just don't. I feel like I've been in Houston for years, so I feel like girl, it's really nothing. I don't really need to. I don't feel like I'm missing nothing. I don't know, girl. But whatever it is, what you want to do with your life when it comes to clubbing, going to Pride events, just do it. That's how I feel. That's how I look at it. And fuck what people have to say. Unless you out there, girl, trying to take advantage of 18 and 19-year-olds, sit your old ass down. Hello? Now that's when I start to have a problem with it. Because some of y'all niggas, don't get it twisted. Some of y'all niggas, some of y'all gay ones, girl, we gonna talk about the straight ones, we're gonna talk about the gay ones too. Some of y'all gay ones just as bad as the straight ones. Y'all be waiting around for the stroke of midnight the stroke of midnight too to go get some of that little boy pussy. I know what the fuck y'all punks be doing. I ain't stupid. Y'all be waiting for the little boys to turn 18. And I be feeling so bad for some of those little boys. Like, girl, you hear these stories, them little boys be turned out by 18, girl, taking 12, 13 inches of dick. Girl, at 18? First of all, girl, at any age, that's one. Okay? Girl, at any age, you take a girl 12 inches of dick. Girl, but at 18, girl, you already, girl, to the base. That boom, the boom, that boom, the boom, that bass, that super bass, that boom, the boom, that girl to the base, girl. I don't even like, girl, this is too much information. I don't even, if I turn on a PORN and the boy, if somebody in the PRN looks like they could still be a child, even though I know they're legal, girl, turn that shit off. I need my man to be grown. Okay, grown, baby. I don't even like to see like the ones who like the what they like the twinks, the baby twinks, the ones who be liking the boys that look just like very, very young, even though you know they probably just turned 18. That's still bad. That's still horrible. But they look like they 12 or 13, but they probably 18, 19. Hell, they could even be 25. But if you look like you even a child, that's basically what I'm trying to say. If you even look like you a child, like I don't get that. And I always side eye those gay boys, those the PON stars, the ones who like to do content with the gay boys who look very, very young, even though you know they're probably legal. Girl, they get on my nerves with that shit. Even though they're probably legal, if they look young, I side eye them. I do. Because in my head, the way it starts to spin is, oh, you really will go younger, but you probably got them at 18 and you like that aesthetic that they give of a 12 or 13-year-old little boy. That's what I be thinking. If you could go lower, you would. Girl, that boy ain't got no. Girl, that boy look 13 years old. What is turning you on about? Anyways, girl, I'm just running my mouth today. All right. I don't know what we talked about in this video. I'm gonna come back later with a with a real hot topics. I'm gonna come back later with a real hot topics video because I don't know what the fuck we was talking about today. Anyways, this is like I was on the phone. Bitch, it sounded like I was on the phone, baby. Just running my mouth. Anyways, girl. All right, y'all. Let me get to this mall and take this suit back. I do not like going to the when I say I do not like going to the mall, I really don't. Like if I go to the mall, it's because I really have to. Like, and it's, you know what's so crazy, y'all? My times have changed. Back in the day, I used to love going to the mall. And maybe because I worked at the mall for a long time. Because I worked at Macy's, I worked at Zara, and I worked at Nordstrom. I worked at Nordstrom for over 8 years. I worked at Zara up until they did renovations. It was like, what, 2 or 3 years? I can't remember. I can't remember how long I worked at Zara. And then I worked at Macy's. Girl, it wasn't that long. When I say I hated my manager at Macy's, I still remember. I'm gonna say his name. His name was Kevin. It was a white queen. When I say he was so mean, when I tell you I couldn't stand, girl, I almost called that man. I almost called that man a slur. Um, I couldn't stand him. He was a gay. It was a gay white man, and he was married. I don't know if he was married. I know he was. I know he had a. I know he had a boyfriend. Um, and he was just mean. He was just like a mean queen, like for no reason. When I say like to the point where like I'm not even a fighter. I was like, if I ever saw him in the street, girl, we would tear the street up. Girl, we gonna windmill to the death, bitch. That's how much I didn't like his ass. Um, but anyways, I don't like going to the mall. I just don't. Like back in the day, I used to love going to the mall, and I used to hate online shopping. Now I would rather online shop than go to the mall. But the gag is when you online shop, you don't really be knowing the shit gonna fit you, and then the shit come and it don't look right. Like, girl, just I shouldn't probably say this. Some of the girls who work in commission gonna get mad at me. But girl, you know, if you want to look cute, if you want to look, if you into like designer shades, girl, just go to Saks Off Fifth or NordstromRack.com. And girl, you can find you some good deals sometimes. Girl, because sometimes, girl, I done got a cup now. You know, this is not for the girls who, you know, if you don't like spending, you know, everybody pockets is different. Mine ain't deep. But when I have a little extra coin and I just want me a cute designer shade, um, you know, you can find you a cute little pair for like $100 and something. And then sometimes they might have like 25% off. And then Nordstrom Rack sometimes will have like an extra 25% off. But the only thing is like, girl, you don't really know how they're gonna look on your face. And then especially like if they do like a final sale, no exchange, no return, girl, you really gonna be fucked. Cause if you spend $80, $85, $100 on a pair of Tom Ford shades, and then they come and girl don't look right on your face, you fucked. You know what I'm saying? But you can find good shades on sale. Um, I can't tell you not the last time. I never have. I've never purchased a pair of shades from Saks Fifth Avenue, or even though it's some Bottega shades I want so bad, but girl, I just can't afford them. It's these Bottega shades. I love an aviator. That's my favorite style. Bottega got these aviator shades. Girl, you would not believe how much them hoes cost. Girl. And I seen a couple of people who I love bought them. I said, girl, y'all got I'll be like, girl, where y'all getting this money from? bitch, I'll be over here scratching my head when I get to $125. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I don't know, girl. But yeah, it's some Bottega shades. They cost $750. $750. That's a lot for some shades. To me, it is. But if I had the money, I would buy it. I ain't even gonna say a lot of y'all. If I had the money, I would buy it. If I was over here making fucking Aniva money, well, how much he was making a month? $50,000 a month. If I was making that type of money, I mean, I'm not putting his business out. I'm just saying he already said he did like a whole article about this. Was it 50, 60? He was making a good little grip. And I think he talked about it on YouTube too. But if I was making that type of money, I probably would just go buy those shades because I'm not making no work. Okay. You can't tell. Maybe this couch we gonna make this, and this couch is all right. Okay. Maybe you can tell by this couch I don't make no $50,000 a month. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. But yeah, so but now I would rather just buy stuff. But yeah, I try to, I buy my shades whenever I see a good deal. From Saks off Fifth, they have sales. They have like additional sales on top of the price being lower. And then sometimes Nordstrom Rack, they'll have like a what is it called? Clear the Rack clearance sale, where they'll give like an additional 25%. Like the other day, I should have bought those shades. It was some Ballman shades that were like 80. They were like $85. And I should have got those shades. I was like, girl, just buy these shades. Put them on your Nordstrom credit card. Girl, they only $85. You can pay the credit card off and you'll be done. But I'm really trying to pay my credit. But like my Nordstrom credit card has a zero balance. Thank God I finally got that bitch paid off. Anyways, and I was like, girl, you just like you don't need to put no money. Like you don't really need those shades. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, girl, you really like you trying to get your debt like girl, you done already paid off a few of your credit cards. Girl, you trying to pay it off and you said it racking up more debt. So I was like, girl, should I get these shades? And I was like, girl, these are so cute. And like the original price were like $400, $450. And they were like $179, I believe. I think at one point they were like $170 or $180 something and 97 cents. Nordstrom Rack, they stuff always in 97 cents. And so I was like, girl, should I get these shades? And I was like, girl, these are kind of fly. They were just black shades, just black shades. And it had like a small little B on the side. They were just black and like a little gold. And I was like, these are so fly. And then when I looked up, girl, I was like, girl, I'm gonna get them. And then I went back, girl, they were sold out. I said, oh my God. So I was like, okay, girl, that was a sign from God, girl. You didn't need those shades. So yeah, but if you want to get you some shades, go to Nordstrom Rack, go to Nordstrom Rack, go to Saks off Fifth. Girl, you can always find a deal. I have found really, really inexpensive designer shades for like $100, $80. Girl, the most. No, that's a lie. Girl, they do have. That's a bold face lie. I was about to lie and say the most I've seen is like $180. That's a lie. Girl, I've seen shades. Because I have some Cartier shades, girl. I don't know how. I'm not, girl. First of all, here I go. I'm not into Cartier. Girl, bitch, I know you're not. I never realized how expensive that shit is, girl. They shades be like $1,200, $1,300. That's a lot. And when I see, girl, it's no shade. When I see young people wearing shit like that, I be like, girl, like, it's so crazy how like times have changed, because I remember back in my day, you know, I'm a little older than some of the boys and girls who watch my channel. Back in my day, like, we were okay with like Tommy Hilfiger polo. Like, that was like our like luxury brand. You know what I'm saying? FUBU, Karl Kani, you know, BB for the girls, BCBG. We going to Nine West, Steve Madden, Aldo shoes. Like, that was us, you know. Now, like, the girls be 21 and 22, like, I need a Rolex. Bitch, what? Girl, where? I need me a pair of red bottoms. Girl, what? Girl, the bitches I knew, girl, they was fucking a scene up in BCBG and BB and Nine West and Bakers. What the fuck y'all talking about? Like, I be seeing young people, like, and it just goes to show also, like, the world we live in now. It's like, even though we were materialistic too, I don't think the way that we were materialistic, I think is so different than how they are now. Like, at 22 and 21, the girls be feeling like they supposed to live in a penthouse. Bitch, do you know I was living at 20? Bitch, I was living deep in the motherfucking hood. Girl, bitch, deep in the hood. Okay? Bitch, I had a girl. Nah, okay, I wasn't deep in the hood. I wasn't deep in the hood. Let me stop exaggerating. I live right behind TSU and right between U of H. And my apartment, I had a 2-bedroom at one time with my roommate. It was like $500 and something. And then when I got my 1-bedroom, it was like $400 and something. So, and it's just so crazy to see like 20 and 21-year-olds, like young, like thinking they are supposed to be living like this high, luxurious lifestyle. And it's like, bitch, you only 20 and 21. And then when I see the girls and boys, like, oh, I got my brand new 2046 BMW. Bitch, how you got a 2046? Bitch, we barely in 2025. Bitch, I got my brand new 2027 Rolls Royce, and I'm only 23. Girl, like, it be shit, and I'm not. I know it sounds like I'm hating, but I'm really not hating. I'm just looking at it like, girl, like, social media is like a gift and a curse, because of course people are only going to put the good things in their life. Well, not everybody. The majority of people are only going to put the good things in their life on social media. Like, when people post that one picture of them, they probably already took 75 and that was the best one they could find. You know what I'm saying? You see people, and I'm so happy, girl, I swear to God. I'd be so thankful sometimes that I've never really fallen into that. I'll say this much. When I started working at like the whole designer, feeling like I need to have stuff, my first designer piece was when I started working at Nordstrom. And once I saw a lot of the boys and girls walking, I was like, girl, how these girls? Like, I want me a little piece. Right? But I've never put myself in a position where I know I can't afford it and I'm going to break my neck trying to get it. I have never been that girl. Never. Like, never, never, never. Like, if I just can't get it, I just can't get it. If I can't afford it, then I can't afford it. I'm not going to break my neck trying to get some designer shoes. I'm not going to break my neck trying to get a designer, bag. I'm not going to break my neck trying to get some designer clothes. Some of the girls will like go all the way out, like go deep into debt over designer. And I'm like, girl, it's not that deep. It's not that deep to me. Like, if I get something, even if I put it in my credit card, it's because I know I'm going to pay this off in a month or two. Okay, maybe 3. But I'm going to pay it off. I don't know what it is. But I'm not like just driving myself into this deep debt. And I've never felt the need to just have designer. I've never felt the need to walk around here and be like, oh girl, do you see these Bottega glasses? You know what I'm saying? Could I put those Bottega glasses that I want that cost $750 on my credit card? I absolutely could. But am I? I'm absolutely not. Hell no. Hell no. And you know what happened? You know what really got me in that mindset? When I worked at Nordstrom, it was like I would get 20%. If you were a manager, which I think was so ass backwards anyways, well, I guess it was more than us. I mean, it was more sales associates than managers. Managers got 33%. If you were like employee, they call them all stars. I think if you were an all star for like the year, I think you got 33% for like a year. And then during Christmas time, my 20% will bump up to 30. And then if you had 20, I think it got bumped up to 30. And then if you got a 33% discount, it bumped up to 40. Bitch, okay. So bitch, if you found something on sale, like my first pair of designer shoes cost $100. It was some Prada. I still got them in my closet. I spent $100, either it was $130 or $180. Or was it $150? I can't remember. I just remember there were some black Prada shoes. Just some regular like track style shoes, but it had a blue sole. The rest of them were all black. I thought they were so cute. And this girl, it was a stud. Her name was Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany. Tiffany had 33%. And so she let me use her 33%. And the shoes had went down like an extra like 25%. And then on top of her 33%, I think I had a Nordstrom note. Like I was that girl. Like I be wanting a Nordstrom note is basically like if you accumulate, if you spend so much, you accumulate a certain amount of points, and it may come out to be like $10, $20, depending on how much you spend. It could go up more than that. And so she let me use her 33%. And so I was always used to using somebody's discount. And I was always used to trying to get the cheapest price possible for whatever I wanted, right? So when I stopped working at Nordstrom, it didn't click in my head. Like I couldn't let it go. Like girl, I'm not spending no $200 when I know at Nordstrom, bitch, I could have got that shit for girl $90. Okay, bitch, I'm not spending a $300 when I know at Nordstrom, bitch, I probably could have got that for $205. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I'm not doing it. So like for a very long time, I was like, girl, I would see stuff I wanted, and I'm like, I just can't buy it. Girl, I don't have no discount. Girl, I don't have no Nordstrom note. Girl, I ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't do it. Like, I cannot do it. Like, I cannot do it. So I was never that person who, even to this day, even when I kind of started to feel like I wanted a piece or two, I still didn't try to drive myself to like crazy to get it. Like when I wanted those Prada shoes, I do think I remember working like, oh, I need to work a couple of extra hours, but I wasn't just driving myself insane trying to get these Prada shoes. It was just like, girl, I'm gonna try to just save my money. So, girl, I'm gonna try to, and I remember hiding those shoes because I was like, girl, because I think because you'll like, if you know somebody in stock, they'll tell you, hey, girl, we about to have another markdown in like 2 weeks. Oh, girl, we're gonna have a markdown in 3 weeks, right? So sometimes you will know when an additional markdown was coming. So if you could try to hide your stuff, even though you really could get in trouble for that. But if you could try to hide your stuff and then wait for the additional markdown, and then if you get the additional markdown plus find somebody with a 33% discount and you get your Nordstrom note, bitch, you in that motherfucking thing. I remember I bought some Mason Margiela shoes, some tennis shoes. I think I got those shoes I got them for cheap. I don't want to say a price. I want to say I think I got them for like $90, $100. I'm talking about some $600 shoes. Hello? That's the type of girl I am. And that's really not high because, girl, you got Nikes out there for $200 or $300. So I'm getting a whole designer shoe for $100, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just never was that girl to just fall into like the designer trap too heavy. Did I fall into it? Yeah, but it didn't consume my life. Even to this day, it doesn't consume my life. Girl, I have a rack of clothes right here, girl. I'm not gonna tell you about my business. I got a rack of clothes right here, and I can guarantee you, ain't nothing on this rack designer. I never got into designer clothes because at one point, I'm not gonna lie, girl, I was a little bit for the girls who know, girl. I lost a couple of pounds, but girl, designer clothes, I just felt like, girl, they just wasn't for my size. So the pieces that I get, the pieces that I would get will always either be like a designer shoe or sunglasses. I do have a couple of ties. But like clothes, I never really got into clothes. And plus, I just feel like I don't know, child. I feel like shoes are different. I don't know why. But girl, all my stuff right here, girl, is either came from Zara. I can tell you where I got this stuff from. Macy's, Fashion Nova, Zara. I got this coat from Amazon. The coat is actually cute as hell. Calvin Klein, Gap, and Macy's. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of the stuff I got came from Macy's up there. Macy's be having some cute pieces. All this stuff on my rack, girl, I've never worn. That Calvin Klein jacket I wore a couple of times. That's a lie. I never wore this. Never wore that. Never. I wore that suit on my birthday last year. Never wore that blazer. Never wore that blazer. Never wore that blazer. Never wore that blazer. Girl, I'm a blazer fanatic. I know, girl. It's a blazer jacket. Never wore that. No, I did used to wear. It's like a robe. A lot of people think it's a robe, a house robe, but it's actually a robe. I got that robe from Zara when I worked at Zara. That was like probably like over 10 years ago. I keep shit. Never wore this. It's another robe. I got that from this online store. And then I got this jacket. It's a woman's jacket. It's a denim jacket. Never wore that. And there's another denim blazer at the end I never wore. I got that from Macy's. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really like. I never. I just praise. I feel bad for people who feel like it's like a Marlo. Like I get it. Like Marlo is the type of girl to me who would probably drive herself insane. Marlo Hampton from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Even though Marlo is girl a completely different tax bracket, I'm sure Marlo is probably in the 1%. um, but Marlo to me is a type of person who I feel like if she didn't have access to designer, she would probably go crazy. Because I feel like her worth has been put into designer clothes. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it if you got like if I had the money, I would probably stay in a designer store if I had the money, right? If I had the money and I could just shop how I wanted to shop, I would probably have a closet full of designer shit if that's what I wanted, right? I'm not gonna get it just because it's designer. If I get it and it just happens to be designer and I like it and I have the money for it, then I'm gonna get it. But I'm not gonna stress myself out. I'm not gonna wear myself low. And when I was 21, 22, 23, girl, in my 20s, girl, I was not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just a different ball game. Like, our way of luxury living was completely different from the girls now. And I can tell them now, girl, if you young, don't get swept up into feeling like social media is so fake. Don't get swept into you feeling as though you need to look a certain way or have certain things in order for you to feel like you somebody. Bitch, you somebody because you somebody. Because the truth of the matter is, girl, if you fly, you fly. Because I've seen a lot of people with designer from head to toe and they look a fucking mess. Okay? And I'm going to say this, and I probably shouldn't say this part. I always feel comfortable when I'm small. When I'm smaller, I feel like I can dress my body better when I'm smaller. I know for a fact if when I lose a few extra more pounds, bitch, I could outdress probably most of the people on social media. I just put myself up there. I said it. 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 Right now, girl, I got a little extra weight, so I'll be trying to figure out how to dress my body. Okay. Um, But anyways, like, don't get caught up. If you got style, you got style. Okay. Now, like I said, don't get it twisted, girl. If you have a little extra money to spend, then you can, but don't be young and be so moved by like social media feeling as though you need that. I gotta get that Gucci because I gotta get this. I gotta get that. I gotta get that. I gotta get this. I have a Gucci watch. I only have one. I got it when it was on sale. Okay. And I paid it off over time. But I didn't get it and put myself in so much debt. Because technically I was in debt. Girl. I mean, anytime I guess you put anything on a credit card, you technically in debt, I guess. But I didn't put myself in this bind like, oh my God, I need to get this watch. I was like, oh girl, I saw a Gucci watch. I was like, this is cute. I was like, I want it. I can afford it over time. I mean, I just can't swipe my debit card right now. But I can afford it in a sense. And so I got it. You know? I'm saying that too because last night I was watching somebody and they had on some Cartier sunglasses. And I was like, girl, and he was like only like 21. It was a gay guy. And I was like, girl, you are so young. Y'all be so caught up. Like, girl, you 21 walking around here with some $1,300 glasses on your face. But you live at home. And it's not like girl, I'm gonna say something, I'm not gonna take it back. It's not like you're Dorothy Wayne and you live at home. It's not like you're Blue Ivy who would be 21 with some Cartier glasses on and she lived at home. Because she probably got options. She probably just want to be at her house. And she probably on the other side of the goddamn building. Like, you live at home and you live in the hood. But you got some Cartier glasses on. It's that type of difference. Girl, I don't know what we talked about today, girl. I'm just running my mouth. Girl, let me get up off of here, girl. All right, I'm gone. I'm gonna come back later with a real hot topics video because I don't know what the fuck I was talking about today, girl. All right, y'all have a good day. I gotta get to this mall, and girl, I'm gonna go buy me a lottery ticket too. Go buy y'all a lottery ticket. No, don't buy no lottery ticket. Never mind. Don't buy one. 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 Girl, yeah, girl. Tonight I think it's $1 billion. So girl, I got $10 in my wallet. I'm gonna go buy me $10 worth of lottery tickets, however many that is, and I'm gonna sit my ass down. All right, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.